Hello, welcome to another edition of the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. It's the only programme on television purely dedicated to answering your holiday, cruise and travel related questions. So if you have a question, a query or a dilemma about going away anywhere, here's how to get in touch with us. We're on Facebook and Twitter, so if you search on either of those programmes for the Holiday and Cruise channel, that's a great way of getting in touch with us. We're also online on our own website, www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. The clinic has its own page, so if you navigate your way there, you can send us a question to our panel of experts that way too. But we welcome your postcards and letters by post as well. Just to make it easy as possible for you to get in touch with us, you can write to the Holiday and Cruise Channel, Cavendish House, Brighton Road, Liverpool, L22 5NG. Now, around 5 million people visit Benidorm each year with its spectacular coastline, breathtaking white and golden sandy beaches which stretch for more than 4 miles. It's a thriving resort, famed for its seafront hotels, lively nightlife, endless restaurants and superb shopping opportunities. Benidorm is home to around 200 nightclubs and discos, more than 1,000 bars and a host of English-style pubs. So it's no surprise it proves a real popular holiday spot for a spritz. Well, here to entice us even more is Yolanda Pickett from Visit Benidorm. Welcome along.
Thank you very much.
Well, what a fantastic job you've got then.
Yes.
Pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel very privileged, I have to say. It's a great job, and especially in a resort like Benidorm. It's a job everyone would love to have, and I think it's a destination that everyone has to come and visit.
Of course. Well, I knew you'd say that, funnily enough. But what brief did they give you when they said you've got to be a roving ambassador for Benidorm now? What do you have to do?
No, I have the brief isn't set in stone. It's basically trying to highlight the best parts of Benidorm, and that people don't really know. A lot of people, Benidorm's a well-known name. It's a household name. It's been in tourism since the 1960s when the tour operators first started to arrive there. And of course we have our regulars, and there's a very high repeat amount of guests. But there's a lot of guests that haven't been, and they're the ones I want to conquer because, you know, they're, oh, Benidorm, but they don't really know Benidorm, what Benidorm's got to offer. That's what I want to highlight today. Yeah,
I'm sure Benidorm is famed by its popularity, really, isn't it? Which could be a bad thing in some people's eyes.
Yeah, but again, those who maybe criticise when you say a bad thing, it's because they don't really know what we have there.
Yeah.
And I can tell you now, we've had people from walks of life which you wouldn't normally associate Benidorm with this type of profile, shall we say, who've been pleasantly surprised and said they're going to be back.
So you've met these people who have rediscovered Benidorm or discovered Benidorm for the first time and thought, oh, it's quite good here, isn't it, actually, you know. What have they been saying to you when you've chatted to them?
Well, because they've had an image of Benidorm just being 2-3-star hotels, all British bars, lots of nightlife, which it is as well as many other resorts in Spain. It's not just Benidorm. But then the hotel scene has changed a lot as well. Now we have a lot of 4-star hotels, and now we've got 3 5-star hotels. And we're talking about top category here, 5-star hotels on the outskirts of the resort. And when they've come to visit, they've been pleasantly surprised at the facilities there. And they just say, I just can't believe that Benidorm has this to offer. So I can go down to the campsites, to apartments, to 1-stars, or I can choose the very luxurious 5-stars as well, you know, with their own golf courses and spas. So Benidorm caters for a whole range of different type of guests with the accommodation it offers and different types of profile of guests, whether you know, your families, whether you're retired, whether you're young people. Benidorm is something for everybody.
Sure. Is it a year-round resort then, do you think?
That's the beauty of the resort. It's definitely year-round. It's open all the time. The climate allows for this. Nothing closes. And it's one of the few areas in Spain like this, because you'll see in the north of Spain they close in the winter and some of the Balearic Islands, but we're there all the time offering holidays throughout the year.
That's why you're in the job 24/7 then. And
that's right. That's right.
A lot of work to do to fill that resort up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got a couple of viewer questions that people have sent in, Yolanda. So let me ask you the first one. And thanks to Anne Down for getting in touch with us through our Facebook and Twitter web pages. My husband is a keen golfer, says Anne, and I'm told by a friend that there are some golf courses around Benidorm. We're looking to take a 2-week break in August next year. And Anne wonders if her husband will be able to play golf whilst away. Well, you're in Spain, aren't you?
Yes, yeah. Of course, there's no problem to play golf. It's quite a good hub if you have Benidorm as your base. Actually, in Benidorm, we have two 18-hole golf courses, Championship and an Executive course designed by Niklaus. They're next to one of our 5-star hotels, but you can book even if you're not staying there. We have also the 9-hole pitch and putts. But apart from that, within half an hour, we've got at least a dozen other golf courses as well. So you could actually play on a different golf course every single day. But the beauty is you've got 2 on your doorstep in Benidorm.
OK, that's good. Brilliant. If you have a game of golf in the morning and you think, quite fancy going to the beach in the afternoon and relax after a hard 18 holes, you've got quite a few beaches to relax on, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. We've got 5 beaches. We're probably only known for 2 of them. The main 2 beaches, Levante Beach and Poniente Beach. Levante means sunset. Poniente means Levante means sunrise. Poniente means sunset. The 2-kilometre Levante Beach is the most popular one. It's where all the hotels are. But the one where most of our British visitors, the one that they don't know and they should go to, is the Poniente Beach. It's far larger. It's a lot quieter, not so many people, and it's brilliant. They're both south-facing beaches, which is very unusual in a holiday resort to have south-facing beaches. It means you're not sitting there with your sunbed moving around every hour, following the sun. And then we have 3 other cove beaches as well. They're Blue Flag Award beaches. Lots of facilities, and especially I'd like to highlight for the disabled, because we get a lot of elderly guests in the winter, and if you're disabled and you can't go into the sea, it's a shame you can't enjoy your holidays much. So what they've done is they've got disabled points as well, where you can get into a floating wheelchair and be wheeled into the sea by a team of people as well. So everybody can enjoy the beach and the sea, and lots of other facilities as well, sports facilities, for foot cleaning spas as well. So.
It's interesting to note that you've got family friendly beaches and resorts and locations. You've got great diversity from very small to elderly people who can come along, facilities for disabled, holidaymakers, all that kind of thing.
Right,
You've really got a lot to offer.
Yeah, that's right. And especially for families, I mean, on the beaches, the sea is very safe, so you can walk out for a long way and it covers you. For the young people, yes, we've got the nightlife, but the nightlife was also not just for young people, but for our elder guests and our family guests. So many different bars adapting their entertainment programs to the different profiles of people. The centre of Benidorm is very good for the LGBT profile as well. We have bars and accommodation adapted for them. So yeah, I really can't think of any customer profile that wouldn't find something for them in this resort.
Oh, she's very good, isn't she? Blimey. OK, well, let's go back to one of our viewers' questions again, Yolanda. And Jill Williams has got in touch with us here at the Holiday and Cruise channel to say that I have the preconception that Benidorm is all about all-inclusive holidays full of young people. We're both in our mid-60s and wondered if you cater for the older guest.
Yeah. Certainly we do cater for the older guests. In fact, we're specialists for the older guest. Yes, there are all-inclusive holidays, but that's only a small section of our hotels, and they cater for certain guests. And the all-inclusive isn't just for younger. Families enjoy it as well, and our elder guests. We have a lot of elder guests from June round through to September. Because they prefer the weather. It's a little bit cooler at that time of the year, and they certainly will not feel out of place, as I say. And the bars and the restaurants also cater to that age group as well. They'll certainly feel very much at home. If anything, we're lacking in young people. We would like to have more young people in the high season summer. We have groups that come out at the weekends for celebrating maybe birthdays and things like that. But really, we are not a young people's resort.
Is it still true to say that when you are retired, for example, and you've got a bit more time on your hands, it's often cheaper to go and live somewhere like Benidorm for 3 months of the year rather than being at home in the UK?
Well, yeah. You think about the bills you're saving at home, heating and electricity. I mean, you don't necessarily have to stay in a hotel. We also have campsites. A lot of people like to come camping, and they come out long term and spend the whole winter there, and they go back home in the summer, or the apartments. So long stays are still quite popular. Not as popular maybe as before, when people would come out for 6 months at a time, but it's quite normal to come out for 2 months, go home for a little while, then come back again as well. It's very much a home from home resort, so it's not like being in a foreign country where you feel a bit uncomfortable, you're missing things from home, because you don't. You have everything there.
Yeah. We like familiarity, don't we?
Exactly.
Yeah. And you get a lot of that in Benidorm. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll just stay put there, Yolanda, for just a moment, because we'll go to our break and come back to you and talk a little bit more about some of the things we can do while we're on holiday there, and a few other facilities that you may not know that Benidorm offers too. So back with you in just a few moments. Let me just remind you of our handy cruise guide. Here we are. Maybe we've whetted your appetite a little bit about getting away, perhaps into the sunshine, go to Spain, maybe get on a cruise. You've got some questions. Here's the guide that will answer all those questions for you. It's available free of charge. All you need to do is call us on our regular number 0871 423 4444. Costs you 10p a minute from a BT landline, or if you're phoning from a mobile or another network, that of course may vary. You can also request a copy through our wonderful website www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. Have a look at us there, get your free copy, and enjoy the break, and we'll be back with you in just a few moments' time, Yolanda and myself, with some more questions and answers about Benidorm. See you in a few minutes. Hello there, welcome back to the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. Today we're enjoying Benidorm along the scenic Costa Blanca. But remember, if you have a holiday, cruise or travel related question for any of our panel of experts who join us regularly, here's how to get in touch. You can find us on Facebook or Twitter, or both. Just search for the Holiday and Cruise channel. Log on with us and send us your question that way. You can go to our website as well, that's www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. The clinic is a page on that website. You can send us your questions to us that way too, or you can write to us by post as well to the Holiday and Cruise Channel, Cavendish House, Brighton Road, Liverpool, L22 5NG. Yolanda Pickett from Visit Benidorm is still with me. You must have one of the most enviable jobs in Spain, I would have thought.
Definitely.
Promoting a resort that seems as easy to promote as Benidorm comes across as being.
And I'm very proud to promote it as well.
Good. That's fantastic. One thing I'm sure you want to encourage people to do when they come to Benidorm for a holiday is not just kind of sit around the pool, but actually get out and enjoy some of the features and some of the sights to see while they're there. Yeah,
exactly. There's very few, or if any, Mediterranean resort that I know of that has 5 theme parks, such as Benidorm. Benidorm, as you know, we're open all year round. 2 of the parks are open throughout the year, and 3 parks are open just in the summer only. But that's an important part of the holiday. It's something to do there every single day.
Do you mean theme parks like Fairground?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got 2 water parks, both water parks, one water park bang in the centre of Benidorm, one just on the outskirts, but they both cater to slightly different profiles, one more slightly for younger children, a bit more for families, and the other park's a lot larger. In fact, it was inaugurated in 1985, the first water park in Spain, and one of the largest in Europe. The other parks we have are 2 animal parks, one Terra Natura, which is a recreation of areas of America and Asia, where they bring in the fauna and the flora of those particular areas. They recreate villages from the areas. And it's a concept of zoo immersion. So you can see the animals up close and you can't see any barriers, which is excellent. So that the children and the families love that. What sort of animals can we see? Well, you can see, for example, the tigers, elephants. We had a baby rhino that was born in captivity. And it's also very educational as well. They have a lot of educational programs, breeding programs. Then we have Terra Mythica. Terra Mythica is, again, it's a themed park, themed on Rome, the islands, Egypt, and they have the traditional, shall we say, the roller coasters, but also they have a lot of shows that are themed around those particular countries. So it's a fantastic day there. And the 5th park is Mundamar. Mundamar is literally translated to SeaWorld, where they have dolphin shows, sea lions, parrot shows. They have lots of different bird life there, and again, it's very educational. So the parks, none of them compete with each other. They're all completely different. And it's important to know that they're there because there's a lot to do and you can budget for your holiday in advance.
Yes.
Ready to come there.
Yeah, once again, you know, a recurring theme on this programme is to prepare your holiday before you go and find out as much, isn't it? You know, to find out as much about what you can get before you go there. And are there things like, you know, 3-day passes you can pick up or will give you access to one or more of the theme parks?
I mean, the 5 parks are owned by 2 different owners. And so the parks, the 3 parks together, you can get passes to all 3. And there's all sorts of offers and discounts throughout the year as well. Sometimes they might say, well, if you go into one park, you might get the other one free or at a cheaper rate when you're there. It varies, but there are those possibilities.
There's usually a deal.
There's always a deal of some sort. And the important thing is they are so close. You don't have to travel far to get to any of the parks. So it's ideal, and for all age groups. It's not just for young people and families, it's also for our elder guests as well.
And if you want to just stick around the beach, there's plenty of things going on there as well. You can do your banana boat ride and things like that, can you?
All sorts of water sports are available. The banana boats, we've also got a cable ski, which whether you're an expert or not, you can learn to water ski. Probably you wouldn't think so, but Benidorm is one of the best havens for scuba diving.
Oh, really?
We've got the Benidorm Island, which is just a 20-minute boat excursion trip away, and it's also an icon in all the photos, the picture of the island, and that is very specialist there for scuba diving. It's a complete haven, we have people from all over coming over, but you just wouldn't put Benidorm and scuba diving together. But I think it's important for people to know that those possibilities are there, along with all the different water sports.
It must have been really hard for you as the ambassador of Benidorm to have tried all these activities to recommend them to people.
Well, I haven't tried all of them.
You must be an expert now.
Tried some. I can't say water sports for me are very good, but I certainly tried a lot of the land sports, cycling, and we've got sedgeways. You can do a lot of walking and hiking. I do a lot of that because we have a mountain called the Sierra Ladra Mountain, which is just to north of Benidorm, and you can hike for several kilometres there along the cliff top as well. Fabulous views. And again, it's just a stone's throw away. So, you know, you have our vertical high-rise buildings, and then you have this beautiful countryside to explore on foot, on cycling, or however.
You've obviously spent a long time in Spain, and in particular Benidorm. You must love the place to be as interested as you are in doing a job that you do. Don't tend to pick up much Spanish from you, though.
Well, I have a sneaky one here. I'm half Spanish. I was brought up in the UK. I mean, I wasn't brought up bilingual though, by any means. And I moved to Spain when I was 21. Worked for a tour operator, and then from that tour operator moved to the tourist board, and I worked for a hotel chain. So I've pretty much worked in most fields of tourism. But working for the tourist board, for me, is very fulfilling because you know you're doing something for the population there, for the town. And it's not just for one particular company. You're neutral and you're working for everybody.
Yeah, you're a good news person, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
How talking of that, and or maybe good or not so good news, you know, that you've got a TV programme which talks about your your wonderful resort, you know, on a weekly basis. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's great. There's mixed feelings. I often get different comments about, oh, what do you think about the series Benidorm? But at the end of the day, we have a series that's been extremely successful, won lots of awards, been running for 5 years. It's on people's screens via either first time shown or via repeats throughout the year. And what more can a resort ask for? Okay, it has certain types of characters, but that's the character based around the comedy series. That is not necessarily what Benidorm's all about. But no, we're very pleased. So I hope it keeps going. Yes,
good. Many images of Benidorm that I've seen show an island that you can see when you look at it from the beach. Is it possible to visit the island?
Yeah, the Benidorm Island, yes. It's shown practically in every photograph. It's very iconic for us. Yeah, there's boat trips that go there. It's about half an hour on the boat. And you can pick that up from the port area in Benidorm. And when you get to the island, as I mentioned before, it's a haven for scuba diving. There's a lot of underwater sea life, so you can transfer onto another boat, which is called an aquascope, and it's like a glass-bottom boat. Okay. You go down below, and you can view the sea life around there. Then on the island, there's a bar there for a drink and a restaurant, or you can have a little walk around. I mean, it's not very big. It's only about 250 metres by 260, but it's a lovely morning out.
That sounds good. Because if it's very warm in the summer, summer, you've got to be prepared and have lots of water with you if you're going to go to somewhere like that, because quite often there isn't any shelter. So great bar, fantastic, we're there.
And shelter on the boat as well.
Yes. I think you can't get away from Benidorm, and we said it a little bit in our intro at the beginning about, you know, a little bit of a fish and chip paradise, isn't it, really? Is there another option for people who like a little bit more Mediterranean type cuisine then?
Yeah, I mean, yes, as you're saying, got the fish and chips, the burger and chips, that type of cuisine, because there's certain type of clients that would like that home from home feeling. But you have to go to the old town of Benidorm and discover that, because in the old town you wouldn't even realise you were in a tourist area. There's lots of restaurants, especially, and there's an area which they call the Basque area, which from the northern part of Spain, full of tapas restaurants. And tapas is a fabulous way to eat, because instead of just having one meal, you can have 5 or 6 different things to sample of local cuisine there. And also you've got to try the rice dishes as well. Lots of typical restaurants in the area. We've done a lot of work on gastronomy in Benidorm this year. For example, this particular week, we've got what we call the Rice Week, where some of our top restaurants have put on special menus for people at a cheaper price than normal to be able to go along and try the different rices. I say rice dishes because everyone knows it's paella, but paella really is not the correct name. It's an international name. Everybody uses it. It's actually the name of the dish and a certain recipe, but the rice dishes, there's hundreds of recipes that you can choose from, and that's available throughout the resort as well.
And is it every menu I've seen for paella is always brackets minimum 2 persons.
Yeah. Well, because it's the size of the dish. Yeah, normally. I mean, you
Okay.
can do, but then have a single portion as well. But that's normally made from a big paella.
Yeah.
A lot of the hotels will offer it as well, so people get a chance to sample it. But
Good, because it's important to include, you know, single travellers and in the enjoyment as well. That sounds brilliant. Well, there'll be at least another hour of questions I could ask you about Benidorm, but we seem to have run out of time, Yolanda, for now. But thank you very much for telling us about such a wonderful resort, and possibly time to revisit it, or certainly, you know, take a new view of it if you've already had some kind of preconception on not being for a while, or just want to go and have a damn good holiday.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you'll be very surprised. Those of you who haven't been, do try it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for talking to us about Benidorm today. Now, just a quick reminder about our first-time guide to cruise holidays. Maybe you want to combine a trip to Benidorm with a cruise, perhaps, if you're going anywhere near Spain. All you need to do, get a free copy of this guide, is to call us on our usual number, 0871 423 4444, for more information. Calls will cost you 10p a minute from that BT landline, but if you're phoning from another network or a mobile, that of course may vary. You can request a copy through our website at www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. Have a look at us, see what we're up to, get a copy of your free brochure while you're there. Well, that's all we have time for on today's edition of the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. My thanks again to Yolanda Piggott from Visit Benidorm. Most of all, thanks to you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.